Here we go! All right, good afternoon, everybody. Today we are going to be having yet another amazing show on the all-new YouTube radio show. Yes, we are the official radio show now of YouTube, and my mission from here on in is to every day have some sort of guest from YouTube, because there's so many stars that have so many followers, including today's guest. This is probably the biggest person that we've ever had on the radio show, the biggest YouTube star. This is Taylor Harris, better known as AntVenom. He's got over 2.3 million subscribers to his channel. He's been on YouTube since 2008, and this is what's really astounding. I mean, Taylor could actually probably walk up to NBC, Fox, or CBS, or any show and say, you know what, bro, I think more people have probably seen what I put out than maybe a lot of your network shows. He has over 500 million views of his videos. He's a gamer. He's a comedian. I'm guessing he sang The Miner, but we'll find out here just now, because I'm happy to welcome to the YouTube radio show the amazing, the incredible AntVenom. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing pretty well. How about yourself?
Did you like my intro, man?
Dude, I loved it, man. Building me up so much. I mean, it just like I'm flattered, I guess. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, man, this guy knows his stuff. I like this guy already.
Well, I wish I had my stuff together like you. I mean, what you have done with YouTube is astounding. I mean, you know, so many people want to start things on the internet, and to get followers these days is just really, really hard to do. And I mean, it's incredible. How do you feel? Like, I guess you started in 2008. Was that the first year YouTube was created? Was 2008? It's got to be close to the beginning, isn't it?
YouTube itself was started, I believe, in earlier mid-2004. I signed up in, like, the account that I'm known for, AntVenom, was signed up in 2008. But I've been doing YouTube since about early 2006 or so, and that's right around when Google bought YouTube.
Right, and 2006, that's 9 years ago, and you're what, 25, 26?
Yeah, I'll be, yep, that's pretty much it.
Wow. So have you always been into gaming, or did it, you know, tell us about your channel, AntVenom.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I won't bore you with like the supreme details as to how I got.
I'm sorry.
To the,
you what?
I won't bore you with the details as to how I got to the AntVenom channel, but safe to say, yeah, I've been doing gaming since the very beginning. Back in the day, it was Tony Hawk Pro Skater stuff. Then it was Line Rider, RuneScape, and what was it like? I started doing the AntVenom channel with RuneScape content, and then got into Minecraft content. What was it like? Late 2010, early 2011. And funny enough, a friend of mine introduced me to the game. And funny enough, I told him, like, I'm sorry, dude, I don't want to get addicted to another game. And sure enough, got addicted to that game, but it wound up really working out in the end.
Yeah, I mean, Minecraft has sort of propelled you into the big time, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's not something that I expected from the beginning or even today. I'm still just like, how did that happen again? I'm not really too sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm reading, you know, it's funny because I know nothing about gaming, and that's why I love interviewing people like yourself on YouTube, because, I mean, you literally are doing videos in a realm which regular mainstream television has never even dealt with. And I guess it says here that there's now actually a YouTube Wikipedia thing. It's for YouTubers, and it says in yours that you were you're the commentator noted for his victory of the first 3 Minecraft survival games. What does that mean?
Okay, so basically when the movie The Hunger Games first came out, it was somewhere between it coming out in theaters and coming out on DVD. A bunch of Minecrafters, I don't really know who the first people to think of this were, but had the brilliant idea of taking that concept and bringing it to Minecraft, because Minecraft was the perfect scenario for it. You know, you had online servers where multiple people played on. There was melee combat and, archery combat and whatnot. So some people had the brilliant idea of making a map like that. Now, the event that I was a part of was Machinima's Hunger Games tournament that they hosted. And I was invited to it as one of the first 12 people, and I was kind of the underdog in that tournament. There were some really much bigger names than I were at the time. And, I wound up playing it aggressively, just, used all of my skill that I had with the game, and, wound up coming out on top ultimately after like a really grueling 50-minute match is how long that lasted.
And it says you defeated the first three. Does that mean you won 3 years in a row?
It's not years in a row. The time between the first game and the second game was about a month, and then it was a few months until the next one. But there are 3 different matches that wound up happening, and yes, I won all 3 of those. So the second one, I wound up winning for a lot of the same reasons, but also because I wound up getting a really powerful sword out of the middle of the map. And I just started slaughtering one person after another, after another, after another. And what was really interesting about that is in the very first game that we played, the first match, a lot of people wound up storming into the middle of the map. And that causes a lot of deaths right in the beginning of the game, just like in the real movie. So in everyone's attempt to avoid that in the second game, I was the only person to storm the center. Nobody else did because nobody else wanted to die. But I stormed the center because I knew how much loot was in the middle of the map. So I'm like, I feel like this is my only chance. Just like in the first game, I stormed into the center of the map and got some really, really crucial supplies. So it just wound up working out a lot better for me this time.
Wow, that sounds just like the Hunger Games movie where you're like one of the combatants.
Yeah, kind of. And it certainly felt that way too, because going against people like, again, I was much smaller at the time, going against people that even I looked up to, and just knowing that so many people are going to be watching this, because there was a lot of hype around the original Survival Games matches, and like I knew that a lot of people were going to be looking to see like who's going to be the winner and checking out all perspectives. So like the amount of nervousness that was just how much I was kind of shaking going into that, like, only added to it. It really did feel like it felt really real.
We're talking to Taylor Harris. He is AntVenom on YouTube with 2.3 million subscribers, more than 500 million views of his videos. And before we leave talking about these matches that you won, I've seen, some TV clips on these matches. And I saw one recently. I don't know what it was like back when you won your tournaments, but they had like basketball arenas that were packed with people to watch you guys play video games. Is that accurate? I mean, were you in big arenas, facing off against your fellow competitors?
As far as our situation at the time, no, but I definitely know that esports is getting to that level. I know right now specifically MOBA-type games, League of Legends, Dota 2, and, I think Heroes of the Storm as well. Those are becoming really, intense games to watch in big arenas. And truth be told, I could see Minecraft fitting into that sort of scenario with, enough build-up and making sure everything was planned correctly. It certainly felt that way, and with the amount of people who have seen those videos, and it's not too far off.
That's remarkable. I mean, obviously, with the amount of views, you would know that because you're in the gaming world on YouTube. But for people who aren't into YouTube, to just see an arena filled with like 20,000 people going crazy, watching people play video games. And it's a sporting event as much as as basketball, right? I mean, it's the same vibe.
Absolutely. You hit the nail right on the head with that. It's the same vibe. Like, people who watch sports matches on TV may not quite get the concept because they are not interested in it. And maybe people in our setting maybe don't quite get it if we're not sports fans. But it's the exact same vibe. You wind up getting invested in something. You wind up, getting to know the people for, the various games that you're playing. Like, you wind up... Let's just say, for example, let's just say hypothetically, I was an aspiring League of Legends player. Well, I might want to know who the absolute best players are, the best teams, know who's best at, in what strategies and what types of, scenarios. And it's the sort of thing that you become invested in, just like actual sports.
You know, somebody just texted me who probably isn't into Minecraft and gaming on YouTube. We're talking to AntVenom from YouTube, by the way. And if there are any AntVenom fans that are listening to the radio show, please feel free to call in, and you'll talk to some of your fans, right? If they're listening right now. Oh,
absolutely. I would love to.
Okay, the phone number is 888-909-1050. That's 888-909-1050. We do have some people that try to, crash the show, so to speak, some haters. So be prepared for that. But that's all right. It's all part of the game of this radio show.
I'm not worried
but
at all.
One of the texters wants to know, which is, and honestly, I don't think that's an unfair question. Maybe to your fans it is, but they want to know, what is Minecraft?
Minecraft, as far as it's such a deep question to answer because it has a different answer for literally every single person who plays it. If you want me to answer like what the game is itself, it's basically this sort of sandbox game where, in at least survival mode, you spawn in a completely randomly generated world, and the goal is to collect resources with which to continue collecting resources. So, like, you collect wood to create, your first tools. And then you use those tools to continue collecting further supplies in order to build up, I don't know, I guess, whatever you want to build. If you want to build nothing but a dirt house and be an explorer, you can do that. If you want to build a giant castle, you can do that. If you want to play in creative mode and have infinite access to every single block, you can do that. And it is worth noting the game is based in these sort of like 1 meter cubed cubes. So the random terrain generates in this sort of cube-like shape. And it winds up working out really well because otherwise I think the terrain would be too complex to generate if it didn't generate in cubes. So, yeah, I mean, but there's so many definitions. I wouldn't even call Minecraft a game, truth be told. It's a toy.
What would you call it?
I would call it a toy because that's really what it is. You make your own sort of destiny with the game. You make your own story. Everyone has a unique story with this game. No two stories are the same. They might be similar, but they're definitely not the same.
Okay, we were talking AntVenom. You don't mind me saying your real name, do you?
No, absolutely not. Everybody knows it by this point.
Okay, this is AntVenom on YouTube, just like Ant and then Venom, V-E-N-O-M. It's all one word,
Yep.
But I believe the A and the V are capitalized, right?
Yep, that's usually how I write it, but most people will be able to tell either way.
Okay, and we'll be right back in just a minute. We're going to take a break, but then when I come back, I want to ask AntVenom how he feels about being a YouTube superstar, how he feels about having 2.3 million subscribers who see his every video and over 500 million views, and I'm going to ask him how much money he makes. I don't know if he'll answer that or not. Don't answer it yet. So we'll be back with YouTube superstar AntVenom from the gaming world right after this. And we are back now. I've renamed this show the YouTube Radio Show. We're the official radio program of YouTube. Our whole goal and our mission is to interview the people on YouTube because this is as big time a network as any network on mainstream TV. And today, AntVenom is on the line. This is the biggest guy we've had on the show yet. We've only been doing this about 3 weeks, AntVenom, but you have 2.3 million subscribers, more than 500 million views on YouTube. How do you feel? I mean, does it feel like a lot of people know you, being an internet? Well, before we even get to that, is this your first radio interview that you've done? Because yesterday, Caveman Films, who's your buddy, who has 1.3 million subscribers, he said it was the first mainstream radio interview he ever did. How about you?
Yeah, actually, it is the first mainstream radio interview I've ever done.
Wow, that's it's really incredible. But in your world, do you feel like you are really well known? I mean, what's it like?
Well, it's the sort of thing where when you're doing it, just sort of sitting around like recording videos and whatnot, coming up with your own ideas, and that's pretty much it. It almost really doesn't hit you. Like, you see the numbers and they're there and they excite you, but it never really hits you until you start going to gaming conventions and you start meeting up with fans in real life. And even though I might have like 2 million subscribers, if I meet like, even more than one or two fans in real life, like, it's still, that to me is almost way more surreal, meeting them in real life, than it is just seeing the numbers. Not that I'm not grateful of both. I absolutely am, but it's insane. Like, just going to events and meeting dozens and dozens of people and people wanting my autographs. Like, what? that to me, like, it makes sense, but it's still surreal.
Yeah, I bet you if you gave out your address on this radio show and the city you live in, that might be a mistake.
Yeah, that I think even giving away the city might be a mistake. I give away the state, you know, like I don't mind people knowing that I live in Maine, so that's okay. And there are occasionally people who are like, I live in Maine too, where do you live? And I'm like, I can't go any further into detail about that, I'm sorry.
And what about how much money do you make? Give us a rough idea, because I've heard that the top gamers are driving Maseratis. You know, all you guys are, you know, are in your 20s or teens. What do you make a month?
I can't tell you that number exactly. What I can tell you, I can actually give you probably a few things to note. So this might be some knowledge bombs here. If you want to know how much someone makes on YouTube, there are ways to figure it out. Social Blade's a good resource, and then if you can look up the averages someone will make per 1,000 views, that's a good way to figure that out. It's against my contract to say exactly how much I make. But another thing to keep in mind is some, you know, various YouTubers might have external deals and whatnot. So, you know, YouTube might not be their only income. What I can say is I make enough to make a living, you know, off of it. That's as much as I'll say.
Do you own your own home?
Yes, I very recently bought a house.
And you're 25?
Yeah.
And what kind of car do you drive?
The car that I drive, it was the first big purchase I ever made was a 2008 GTI.
Okay, well, it's not like you bought a Rolls Royce or a Lamborghini or a Maserati, but or is that a pretty expensive car? I don't know.
The 2008 GTI, I wouldn't say too much. I mean, I bought it. It was like almost new. Well, I shouldn't say almost new. It had like 30,000 miles on it to begin with. But yeah, no, I'm the kind of person, like, again, I cannot speak for any other YouTuber at all, given how much, I don't know how much any of them make. What I can say is that I'm of the mindset that if I don't need it, then I should just save my money. Like, that's the sort of thing. So I try and save up as much as I can. I know a guy, excuse me, Taylor, for interrupting you. I know a guy on YouTube who's got 1 million subscribers. You got 2.3. And I know his uncle, and he said that this guy makes 50 grand a month, and he's 23. Yep. Well, I would say again, I can't speak numbers really. Yeah, if that's what he said, I personally that's something that I would believe. But again, I wouldn't want to know the user's name to know that.
Well, if you get into mainstream radio, you could be like me and make 50 cents a month. We need to be doing what you're doing. Hey, I think we've got somebody on the line that's calling from Di. Where's this gentleman calling from?
This is Evan from Florida.
Evan from Florida. If you want to talk to AntVenom, he's on with us on the show today on our radio program. The phone number is 888-909-1050. And what's his name?
Evan.
Evan, I'm sorry. I've lost all my brain cells, AntVenom. Okay, Evan, you're on with AntVenom.
Hi.
Hello. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Doing well. What's the question? Hit me.
I just have a few questions. That's probably it.
Go for it.
Sure. The first one's probably, when do you think the Mine Nights at Freddy's Factory, or I think that's what it's called, will start coming?
I think me and Dan have plans to start filming that within the week, actually. There was a lot of work done on the map. That's pretty much what took the longest amount of time, was getting, you know, everything up and running, because the amount that we have planned for this map is insane. But me and Dan checked out the map yesterday, and we think we're within a day or two of filming.
That's good. Let's see.
Yeah.
Is there anything you're planning to do that's new to the channel, or are you just trying to stick to what you're doing right now?
As far as new games and whatnot are concerned, I never really have too big of plans of that, because I'll always say to myself, yeah, I really want to get into this, and then I don't get into it because my interest doesn't wind up holding there. I do know as far as unique content that should be coming out, I do have plans for some animated comedic shorts. And as well, there is a music video in the works, but it's really in the earlier stages right now. But I don't want to go into detail as to what the storyline is about, but there are some new animated shorts that are planned to come out within the next few weeks.
Okay, thanks.
Hey, thanks for
problem,
calling,
dude.
Evan. How old are you, by the way?
11.
And do you see every one of AntVenom's videos?
Pretty much, yeah. He was actually my second YouTuber. I was trying to call yesterday for Caveman Films, but I just missed it. And Caveman Films was my first, and AntVenom was my second right after. And I've been watching since 2012.
And do you watch regular TV, or is this your type of television?
This is basically what I watch, yeah.
Okay, wow. No regular TV, like no Dancing with the Stars or American Idol or anything like that?
No, but my sister likes to watch that kind of stuff.
How old's she?
She's 25.
Yeah. And your parents had a big gap in kids, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, thanks, Evan.
You're welcome.
Okay, AntVenom, is that your pretty much your age? Yesterday, Caveman Films, who does that Freddy series with you, he said that the age of the people that watch his videos is 10 to 15.
I would say between 10 and 15, 10 to 17 is pretty much accurate. That's where about like 80, I would say 80 to 90% of watchers will fit into.
Awesome. Okay, we're going to take another break here right now. We got AntVenom from YouTube. He's a gamer. He's a comedian. When I come back, my producer has a question for me. He's been texting. And also I want to talk to him about his video that has 20 million views, his biggest video. We'll talk about that next as we continue here on the YouTube radio show. And we are back here. It's the Poorman hosting the all-new YouTube radio show. We'll be talking about all kinds of stuff, but every day, I guarantee you, unless they don't want to be on the show, we will have a YouTube radio star. And on YouTube, there's so many different types of channels, and gaming is just giant. And so yesterday we had Caveman Films. Today we have his good buddy, AntVenom. And AntVenom, I guess my producer, Pat Matthews, who talks like this, even in private life, wanted me to ask you about, let's see here, I got to go back and find it, stop motion animation. He goes, you should see his videos. He does stop motion animation, and it takes so long for him to do that. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, the stop motion animations that are done on my channel, I personally don't have a hand in, I guess you could say, but I do know that they take quite a while to do.
So you have editors?
For the stop motion animation specifically, those are provided by Jazzler's, the company that actually does the whole Tube Heroes lineup and whatnot. But yeah, usually when it comes to like animations and whatnot that go on my channel as well, I usually hire people for that one because I'm not so creatively inclined with like the finer details. I can write a half decent story though.
And your video that has 20 million views, it's called The Miner. Tell us about that. And it's been out about 2 years. That's your most viewed video by far, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Tell us how that happened. So
I started seeing, more music videos popping up on YouTube, like or rather Minecraft music videos. And let's just say, I wound up seeing Captain Sparkles' music videos that he had released. And, I mean, those are absolutely top quality. And there are other people who would release some that, some were really good and then some weren't so good. And I just wanted to create something that I thought was going to be, like, really catchy, that I would enjoy listening to, that I would enjoy watching, that I enjoy, looking at. Now, The Miner, I was very heavily involved in, to the point where me and the animator were, like, we were sending, individual scenes back and forth, like the individual clips that are between 1 and 4 seconds long. Like, he would send them to me. I'd be like, yeah, this is good, this isn't good, that sort of thing. And we went back and forth on it. And it took, like, 8 months to produce that music video.
And then that video's only 4 minutes long, too.
Yeah. And it was an absolute blast to work on it, though. And, I mean, did I know it was going to become that big? No, I didn't. It's just, it's been around for so long at this point. It's like a staple music video that some people wind up pointing out when they think of Minecraft music videos.
Did it ever get mainstream radio airplay?
I truth be told, I'm not actually sure. I don't think so. It's possible, but the arrangements for that wouldn't have gone through me. They would have gone through the buddy of mine who actually made the music itself, Music by Pedro.
And is that you singing in that video?
No, unfortunately, it's not. The only thing I had to do with the lyrics was writing the lyrics. I'm pretty sure I did the majority of the work on the lyrics. I think myself and Music by Pedro might have tossed some ideas back and forth, but for the most part, I wrote the lyrics to that video.
Okay, hey, somebody's on the line from Michigan. You know who Larry King is, AntVenom?
I do.
Okay, he's like one of my radio heroes. Like, you know, he's this old dude who just is always current. He'd always go, Michigan, hello. And he'd be on all over the country before there was an internet. And so you got a caller from Michigan. Who is this?
Actually, a group of 3 people. Yeah, we're a group of 3 people. Yeah, we're 3 guys.
Okay, what are your names? Go ahead and throw out your names, you guys.
So we have Eric, Haley, and Rufus. Okay. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, you know what? If one person could talk at a time, that way we can hear you better on the radio. But you're on with AntVenom. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Hello. How are you guys?
Oh, I know, pretty good. How you doing?
All right, go ahead and hit me up with that first question. What do you guys got?
Yeah. Is there any way that just one of you guys talk at a time? Otherwise, we can't hear any of you.
Yep.
Yeah, we're not talking as a group. I don't know if it's getting screwed up, but we're talking individually.
Okay, that's good.
Cool.
Go ahead.
Okay, Pete, go.
I don't know. I was just kind of randomly told this call.
Okay, now that guy's he's muffled. Sorry about that. We'll sort this out. Whoever the guy was talking beforehand, we can hear you clear as a bell.
Me?
Yep.
Yeah, whoever talked right before the muffled dude.
Is it me?
AntVenom, you take over. You handle this.
Okay. Well, whoever just spoke, sounds just fine. So, I'll let you know if it's you who's speaking, and maybe you could wind up forwarding the questions from the others because, the other voices that are on the line, you can't really hear too well. So go ahead. Hit me up with whatever your question is.
We're a community. We came from the AntVenom network servers. So we have this Skype chat.
Oh wow, dude! I think I know the majority of you guys.
Yeah, I'm T-Body 505. We have Pink Lemonade.
I know you guys. Oh my God, it's so good to hear from you guys. Okay, so I'm guessing what the issue then is that you guys are probably in a Skype call and some microphones are not as clear as the others. But since your microphone sounds just fine, why don't you go ahead and forward the questions? Hit me up with whatever you got.
So I have a question myself. I'm wondering what inspired you to keep going on Twitch rather than just sticking to YouTube?
The community, all the way. For those of you that don't know who are watching the radio station, Twitch is a live streaming website where people can actually broadcast themselves playing games live and whatnot, and you have the benefit of having live user interaction and whatnot. And I really like Twitch because of that very reason, getting live feedback from people, getting people's opinions on the spot. While that's really cool on YouTube and whatnot, getting the actual live feedback is just, it's amazing. And how supportive the Twitch community overall usually is. Like, if you're in a good mood, the Twitch community is usually in a good mood, and it's absolutely amazing.
Wonder if you're in a bad mood. Wonder if you're in a bad mood, what happens to the Twitch community?
Usually they start throwing out the emote that's called PJ Salt, otherwise known as being salty, because I might be mad about something that otherwise might seem insignificant or whatnot, and they'll call me out on it, they'll call me salty and whatnot. Not anything too harsh, but it's just sort of, the general term that gets thrown around if you're sort of being salty, I guess. That's kind of how it goes.
Hey, can you guys hold on? And we gotta go to another break here. Just rerun my commercials. They need all the promotion they can get, Di. And we'll be right back with AntVenom and the 3 people from his community. And we're back here. This is the Poorman, and my guest today is YouTube mega gaming star AntVenom. And we got some people on the line for him. By the way, I got to thank my sponsors. Peter Dills with Stella Rosa wine, great wine. Also, Peter Dills has got his radio show every Sunday at 6 p.m. on the LA Angels radio station. The LA Angels just got eliminated from on the last day of the season, didn't make the playoffs. Bummer for the Angels. But Peter's on KLAA AM 830, Sundays at 6 p.m. And Michael W. Brown. Michael is a great lawyer. If you need a business lawyer, AntVenom probably needs a business lawyer, just counting his bucks from his great success on YouTube. It's his number is 949-636-8128. Before we get back to your community, are you all lawyered up and agented it up and stuff like that, AntVenom, or do you handle everything yourself?
I pretty much handle everything all by my lonesome. If the situation ever does come up where I feel like I need a lawyer, then I'll definitely be sure to contact one. But no, I pretty much do things all on my own. Even the editing process of all my videos, the capturing, uploading, doing everything. It's all solo.
All right, and I guess these three guys are from. Explain who these guys are that are on the line. That you know them. They're part of your community.
Yeah, I used to run a Minecraft server, and there's a really tight knit community there. Of a few people that I would wind up seeing there all the time, and I just got to know these people, over time, and they've become people who I talk with every now and again, and so it appears as if these are three of the people from that community who have called in right now.
Are you guys there still?
Yep, we're here.
What states are you guys calling from?
Pardon?
What states?
I'm from New York. We have someone from New Jersey, and then Michigan.
And where?
That was that. It looks as if there might have been some talking over there. If just the one person could speak for the time being, that would be great. But you said so one's from New York and the other two are from where?
We have New York, Michigan, and New Jersey.
Nice.
Wow, cool. From all over.
Yeah. And also something I wanted to add, that we started a little thing after the AntVenom network went down. It got 76 members before we had to close it. Yeah. I have a question from someone 8888 who's also a Twitch mod.
Yep.
What makes you happy about doing YouTube, and why is it something you pursue?
Everything. The question was, what makes me happy about doing YouTube, and why do I do what I do? I don't know. Again, that's another really loaded question. I think a good, solid answer to throw at this is something that I recently heard that has been making the rounds. A quote by Casey Neistat, another really big YouTuber, and he's really notable for having previously worked in the media industry, the actual on TV and working on movies and whatnot. And he describes YouTube as being like this amazing medium where there's no middleman that has to approve your content and tell you whether or not your opinion or what you did was right or wrong. That's all on you. I have total control over getting my voice out there, and as many people who want to listen can listen. So I really enjoy that. I enjoy gaming. I enjoy the editing process of making videos. I enjoy getting creative with things. There's so many things I enjoy about YouTube. I couldn't possibly describe all of them in this entire hour-long segment, let alone in just a few minutes here. But that's a good general idea.
Well,
continue.
Go for it.
I think. Do we have anything else from you two guys? Hello?
All right.
If not, it was great to have you. It was great to have you guys. I think you might have said you had one more question, but I'm not sure. You feel free to let me know if that's correct or not.
Question from here? I don't know. The Skype chat's going nuts. No?
Well, what you can do if you feel like it. If you can't think of the answer, then you can hit me up on Twitter at twitter.com/AntVenom and ask me the question there. I reply to pretty much everything there. But I think at this point we probably should give the opportunity for at least one more person to come on the air,
sure.
if we have the time for it.
It was great talking to you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. It was amazing.
All right. And did you say, Di, we have another person on the line?
No, I said we need to throw out the number.
Oh, the number. Yeah. Okay. So if you want to call in and talk to AntVenom, it's 888-909-1050. That's 888-909-1050. And I read that you had a girlfriend that was also a YouTube star that maybe is no longer your girlfriend. What's the deal with that?
I'm not going to go into personal details of anything that happened in that regard. But yeah, when I wound up, again, I can't really go into the personal details of that.
But it was like a YouTube celebrity relationship, so to speak.
Oh, you could say that. I mean, I know that the majority of the subscribers that she wound up getting from my sort of promotion and whatnot. She didn't really do YouTube prior to us beginning dating, so there's that.
But are you single now?
Yep, indeed I am. And enjoying it, too, because, I mean, again, I was able to buy the house here, because originally I was living in New Jersey, and I wound up moving back to Maine, where I wound up buying this house here, and I've been, quite happy ever since.
Awesome. Okay, we got somebody calling from North Carolina. I guess this is Katie, who's very excited to talk to AntVenom. Are you there, Katie?
Yes, I am.
Go for it. You're on with AntVenom.
Hello. Wow, this is exciting. I actually got to talk to Caveman last night, and now I'm getting to talk to you, and that's oh my gosh.
That's amazing.
Oh, I've been watching you for probably about 3 years or so, and it's just been so much fun.
What originally got you into my videos, if you don't mind my asking, since you've been around for so long?
Excuse me?
How did you originally find my videos? Just because, you've been around for 3 years. I'm just kind of curious.
Well, actually, I was at one point, I was looking up Minecraft parkour videos, and yours were the first that popped up. So I was like, hey, this guy looks pretty cool. I'm going to watch it. And I was literally, right then, I was like, okay, I need to keep watching this. This is good.
Well, thanks. Yeah, I do love myself some parkour. I don't know. I feel like I've done so much of it.
The parkour king. You can't help it.
Well, thanks. I appreciate that. It's always fun seeing new jumps come along, though. Just like new challenges and whatnot. I think my favorite, as far as parkour is concerned, in Minecraft, which for those of you that don't know who are watching, parkour is the general idea of parkour is getting from one place to another as sort of cleverly and efficiently as you can. But with if you look up parkour, you'll find it. But anyways, there was water parkour that someone came up with, and that was unique.
Yeah,
you sound like you're excited to talk to him, Katie. To AntVenom.
Yes, I'm very excited.
This is his first radio interview ever, and he's so popular. How do you think he's doing?
He's doing great. I'm whenever I look at my phone, I'm like, oh, here's some videos, I need to watch them. But I literally today, I emailed my professor and was like, can I leave class early? I want to talk to someone famous that's going to be on the radio. And she's like, sure. So that was good.
Yeah, we've changed the entire demographic of our radio show, and I'm loving it. I'm loving having younger people calling this radio show. I mean, before you guys started coming on, it was old fart radio all the time. Not that I'm part of that group, but I really enjoy this the phenomena of what's going on with media and entertainment. I love it. And by the way, we got Crystal from Ventura is calling in. Thanks, Katie. We got Crystal from Ventura also, who I believe called yesterday to talk to Caveman Films as well. Crystal, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Did you call yesterday?
Yeah, I did.
Good. Call as many times as you want. Go ahead. You're on with AntVenom.
Hello.
Hi. How's your day going?
Everything's going quite well. I mean, much better now that I've met so many, amazing people on here and been doing this interview. It's definitely the sort of thing that can really lift your spirits, especially getting all the, positive, words from people and whatnot.
Okay, cool. And
so, what kind of question do you got?
Well, first of all, my friends wanted me to say hi for them because, well, why not?
What are their names?
One of them was Jose, and the other is Alexis.
Yeah. Well, hello.
How old are you, Crystal?
Jose and Alexis.
Continue. I shouldn't have interrupted. Go ahead. I was just asking how old you were. Just out of curiosity.
I'm 12, by the way.
Okay.
Fantastic.
So, yeah, I mean, again, talking about, how there's quite the demographic, like from one side to the other. I think the last person said that they're in college or something. They mentioned having a professor, so there's that. But
I mean,
anyway,
I think, before Crystal asks a question, I think, with like the older people listening to this, I mean, you got to face it. This is the way the entertainment is going, and the younger crowd is on it faster than the older crowd. But I'll bet you anything that, I mean, I won't. My gut usually is right, and I bet that all of society is going in this direction towards YouTube, towards online entertainment, and while we do have the mainstream stuff going on, I think it's all going in that direction. And AntVenom, you're part of that. Am I right or wrong? That the young people are on it first.
I like the idea of being a part of it. I think it's cool. With there being such a monumental shift in media and whatnot, it's cool to at least be a part of it, even if it's just me doing my own small little part.
Okay, go ahead, Crystal. I interrupted your flow. Continue.
What got you into YouTube?
What got me into YouTube?
Yeah.
Well, there's a couple of different ways I can answer that question, but, if you want to know how I got into YouTube as just YouTube and not Minecraft YouTubing, I mean, I started doing YouTube in April of 2006, and the reason why I got into YouTube is because I was a part of a Tony Hawk community, and, at the time when we made videos, we would have to, find these servers to host them on, and other people would download the raw video files and whatnot, which worked fine, but the critical issue with that is that if we weren't able to keep our hosting up, all these files that were stored would go down. And the cool thing about YouTube is not only does it have an embedded player, so it's going to work everywhere, but, videos aren't going to just randomly be taken down. Once they're there, they're there, and we don't have to worry about it anymore. So that's why I initially started doing YouTube.
I got to tell you, did you ever meet Tony Hawk?
Unfortunately, no, I didn't. That would have been pretty cool, though, especially back in the day when I was younger and really into that franchise.
Okay, I got to tell you, man, I used to MC skate events, and I MC'd one with Tony Hawk, and so I know him. Back when he was really young, dude. Back when he was a teenager, I emceed one of his events, and he's never forgotten me. That's how cool of a guy that guy is.
Yeah, he definitely comes off as a really cool guy. I mean, every video I've ever seen of him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's funny because it was called the Vision Pro Skate Escape, and it probably is somewhere online in Irvine. I emceed it, and so it was the first big giant skate ramp that had ever been created, and I can't skate if you held a gun to my head. So everybody was skating down this first, I mean, it was a joke of a half pipe, but then since I couldn't skate, I thought, okay, I'm the MC, and I was pretty young then. I go, I'm just going to slide down this ramp, and I'll never forget. I slide down the ramp and dislocate my shoulder.
Nice. That's quite the story.
Right. What an idiot. So there you go. Hey, we got Kevin
you live and learn, right?
Pardon me?
You live and learn, right?
Yeah, what a dumbass. Anyway, we got Kevin from Montana, I guess, is on the line too. So he wants to talk to YouTube superstar AntVenom. Go ahead, Kevin.
Hey, AntVenom, what's going on?
Dude, not a whole lot. Just enjoying my day, and much happier now that you've called in.
Yeah, I love your channel. When was the first year that you made any money?
I would say that's probably late of 2000. What was that? Late? No, it would have been early 2011 because that's when I first got partnered with my first partnership company on YouTube. So it would have been then. It's a lot easier to get partnership now, but back then it was actually. He missed a really great opportunity here. I just want to go on record and say he missed the most amazing opportunity, and I think we're pretty much set with him at this point. But he missed an amazing opportunity to throw the most giant John Cena prank on air, considering the original John Cena prank was done on the radio. People should look that up if they don't know what that is. He missed a great opportunity there, and I almost feel sorry for him.
he tries to do it every day. I thought he wouldn't do it today, but there you go. That's yeah. It's funny because during our entire interview, you know, we're getting like I don't think a lot of the people that listen can adjust to the fact that this is exciting and new because nobody on mainstream radio has had YouTube stars on, and yeah, I love the dynamic of having this, you know, from old fart radio to this massive young audience. I think it's great. I love it. So anyway, but
I love
fun.
it as well. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, you've been a great guest. I mean, for your first, have you ever done TV or anything like that, or is this the first mainstream media you've ever done?
Yeah, I don't think that there's ever been any instance that I've been on like like national or cable or local or whatever television as well. I'm definitely not like brand new to live interviews though. So I mean, sort of talking off the cuff and just sort of coming up with whatever comes to my mind is definitely not new. And especially with YouTube, I've been, like if you were to try and talk with me about a subject that I knew a lot about 5 years ago, I would have been terrible at it because I was a terrible speaker back then. But the idea of doing live commentary has definitely improved my speaking ability a lot.
Yeah, you're doing great. And by the way, this interview is going to be posted. Anything you could do to help us out on this, we have a brand new YouTube channel. It's actually called The YouTube Radio Show. And I think if you go to youtube.com and then /C/ The YouTube Radio Show, I think tomorrow we'll be posting the video and interview of this entire hour so people can hear it. If you can plug it for us, dude, that would be amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, most definitely. Once I wind up seeing it go up, I'll be sure to let people know to check in and listen to this amazing interview with our amazing host here and make sure that they start listening in way more often because they're doing something amazing.
Yeah, but we have Robert from Fort Worth, Texas, so I leave it to you. Should we take a chance and see if this is Radio Hindenburg or Robert from Fort Worth? It's up to AntVenom, my guest.
Hey, you know what? I'm all for all the opportunities. Let's do it.
Okay. Have you got the plane circling overhead, Di, and ready?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we have a special way we treat Radio Hindenburg, but for some reason it didn't happen this time. Oh, well. Okay, go ahead. Robert, are you there?
Yeah, hi, Jim. Hi, Ant. How are you?
I'm doing quite
this
well.
sounds
How
like
you
it
doing?
could be bogus, AntVenom.
What's up?
Oh. And just be careful, Jim's a con artist.
Is this a thing that's supposed to happen?
Yeah, that's our the planes are circling overhead, and unfortunately, he got the big bomb.
Oh, man. Well, he didn't bomb this radio show because this radio show is too good for him. And we've had a lot of amazing feedback and been talking to a lot of amazing people that I am quite happy with how things have turned out.
Hey, me too. Listen, thanks a million for being on. You're great, and I just am so stoked for all your success. And again, folks, if you want to check out his page, you haven't done it yet, go to youtube.com and put in AntVenom, and the guy's prolific. He's got tons of videos, and he is a superstar in the gaming world, and we're just going to keep having more YouTube superstars. We got another gamer tomorrow. I wish I could remember who it was. Pat, before you go, AntVenom, I'll tell you in a sec. Text me, Pat. Let me know who's on tomorrow. But I believe it's another guy. I just forget his name. So maybe we'll get that here in a sec. But again, thank you for being on. I'm really stoked that you came on.
Yeah, absolutely, no problem. And before I do head off, I can't give away a lot of details yet, but I do want to say that there is something pretty cool coming in the future involving myself and a whole bunch of other people creating a commentary group, an otherwise group that does a lot of really fun stuff together. I guess you could say we're kind of a fun crew. So just wanted to throw that out there and make sure that you guys keep up to date on that sort of thing because it's going to get good.
Okay, and they would just keep checking with your channel to find out what that is.
Yeah, they can check on my channel. There's quite a few other channels that are going to be involved in this, so they're hopefully going to hear about it one way or another.
Somebody wanted me to ask you, how many joysticks have you played with?
Well, I don't think a joystick is required for Minecraft, but I can also tell I think this is a troll question.
Yeah,
so,
I do too.
Yeah, it's not required for Minecraft, so the answer for that is 0.
All right. Well, you got to experience the whole gamut of my radio show. So, again, thanks a million for being on, dude, and we'd love to have you back anytime.
Yeah, that'd be cool. It was great to be on.
Okay, so Taylor Harris, who is AntVenom, he lives in Maine, and he's kicking some serious butt. Thank you for being on the show, and we'll be back tomorrow with more of the YouTube Radio.